Welcome to Sit, Stay, Read, the podcast for every wag, whinny, and whisker. I'm Kathleen Donnelly, award-winning author and retired canine handler. Each week, I chat with novelists about the bond we share with our furry friends and how they inspire stories. Grab a coffee, get cozy with your favorite pet. It's time to sit, stay, read. Well, today I'm very excited and thrilled to welcome best-selling author David Rosenfelt to Sit, Stay, Read. We're going to talk a little bit about And to All a Good Bite. David, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. This is going to be a holiday, or maybe I should say holiday special, since we are both dog lovers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I noticed a lot of your books have Christmas themes, and I was curious, is there a reason for that? Does it fit Andy Carpenter's reason that football season is the best around Christmas, or do you have other reasons to have a lot of Christmas books?
It's just the publisher likes to have a Christmas book. So
Okay.
we do two Andes a year, and
Okay.
one comes out in the summer, and one it's a Christmas book, but it comes out in October,
Okay.
which is again their preference.
Okay.
And
I love
the
it.
only other thing they have in common is they all have embarrassing titles. Santa's Little Yelpers and Dachshund Through the Snow. I mean, it's cringe-worthy titles.
I was going to ask who came up with the titles, but I'm going to say it's the publisher then.
They do. They do. What happens is they ask me if I have any titles, and I say, give me
Yeah.
a couple of days to think about it. After that, I say, no, I don't. And they come.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Well, and it was fun. This is such a good, fun read for the holiday season. And I loved your Facebook post where you mentioned if you're a Giants fan, as I'm guessing you and Andy both are Giant. Well, I
Yeah,
know Andy's a Giants fan, but I'm going to guess you are too. So,
unfortunately. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
been a long decade.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that very much. So I love that this is an uplifting book to read if you are a Giants fan. So any football fans out there whose teams are not doing so well, we highly recommend reading this.
Right.
I love it. Well, in the book, in your book, you had a really fascinating element with the art auctions and some of the Nazi artwork. And
Uh-huh.
I was just curious. I know in real life that the a lot of artwork has been recovered that the Nazis stole, but was this case based off of any real cases in your area or in the New York area?
Not in my area, but there was a documentary I think that I saw a few years ago. I don't know the name of it, but it was about this kind of situation, and it actually happened in New York.
Okay.
It was these people that can copy brilliant art, or like Van Gogh, you name it, they can do it, and each person
Yeah.
can do more than one style.
Wow.
So it's like the question is, are these geniuses like those people are? I mean,
Yeah.
it was a fascinating documentary and story about how they fooled all these people, these experts at this auction house.
I loved it. It brought in a really interesting element, and I had no idea that that really existed out there. And like you said, they have to have some talent to be able to do this. But
Amazing talent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, a friend of mine is really into art, and I asked if these people, if the person who can copy Van Gogh exactly is as talented as Van Gogh, as an example. And she being an art fan, where I'm much more so than me, felt that there's an inspiration to it that
right.
that these people don't have. And then she talked about, I think it was Da Vinci, about how there's like a mathematical equation part to it, and there's much more than I understand. But yeah, these people that copy it are unbelievable.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was really curious about that because it added a an interesting element to the mystery. And of course, I love the way it started because we meet Jeff Wheeler, who loses his loved one right away, but he manages to save Rufus, a puppy, out of a building that's just exploded.
Right.
So, uh, is Rufus a real dog? Do you have a lot of your
Uh,
dogs in the books?
No, only the name. We have this insane mastiff named Rufus, who's 200 pounds, sleeps in our bed, um, which ordinarily would be a good thing. It's really comforting to have dogs sleep in bed, but Rufus gets on and off the bed 10 times a night.
Oh no.
Yeah. He's really large, right? So he doesn't do it surreptitiously. I mean, you know it when he's doing it. But and he's maybe has the most personality of any dog we've ever had, and we've had hundreds of dogs. So that's where the name came from, but he's not a golden retriever puppy, that's for sure.
No, and it sounds like it would be hard to save him from a burning building too, if you had to carry
Sure.
him out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are any of your other dogs on the bed?
Not
Do you
anymore. We
have
used
any
to
of the bed?
back in the day when we had 30 or 35 dogs, there were always five dogs on the bed every night. Um,
Wow.
in fact, it used to be that we'd have four or five on, and then we had a Bernese Mountain Dog who was, I don't know, 120 pounds, and he would put his paws up on the bed to be hoisted up. He didn't want to get up himself, even though
Oh
he
no.
could. And when you hoisted him up with all those other dogs, you had to find a spot for him. So the trick in our house was always if you want to get a spot in bed, get there early. So we would try and do that. But right now we only have 11 and we only rescue old dogs or ill dogs.
Okay.
And so none of them can jump on the bed.
Okay.
The only one who's able to do it is Rufus. So
Wow. Well, I love that because, I think the old dogs, you often hear about them not finding a home and everyone wants the younger dogs. So I love
right,
that you get
right.
the older dogs. Is this all through your foundation do you still have
No,
the Terra Foundation or?
here comes the barking. No, the Tower Foundation doesn't exist anymore. It was
Okay.
in California when we lived
Okay.
there, and the rescue situation in California is hard, in Southern California, in the LA County in particular, is horrible.
Okay.
So we started a foundation and we rescued about 4,000 dogs, and we brought home the dogs that were old or ill that we couldn't place, right? So what else were we
Yeah.
going to do? We couldn't leave in a cage.
Yeah.
Um, so they were the ones that came home. But when we moved to Maine, the rescue situation here is terrific.
Okay.
Um, they bring hundreds of dogs every week up from the south.
Wow.
Yeah, so they don't need us here. In fact, the all our dogs that we've gotten lately, with Rufus being an exception, have come from either Tennessee or West Virginia or Louisiana.
Okay. Wow, that's fantastic. I had no idea Maine had such a big rescue network. That's
All of
great.
New England, all of New England. It's amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Well, and Andy, of course, has some rescues. We have Tara, who I know is a real dog. That was one of your golden retrievers.
Was, yeah.
Yeah. And then he has Sebastian and Hunter, if I'm remembering
Right.
names right. Did you have a Basset Hound and Pug
No,
with
we never
those?
did. That's
Okay.
one of the few breeds we've never had. And in fact, we've never had a pug, which is Hunter in the book. Uh,
Okay.
the way it's embarrassing to say, but the way I come up with the breed, there's always a new dog in the book, and
Okay.
the dog usually leads Andy into the case in some way, and I don't even know what breed it's going to be until the publisher sends me the book jacket and I see what see what
Oh
dog it's
no.
right. In fact,
Okay.
I'm writing a book right now, next year's Christmas book. And when I mentioned the breed in the book, I just put four X's so it'll be replaced by the name of the breed. So,
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, that's fun. I mean, that keeps it interesting for you. So speaking of your books, Andy has this great team around him, an amazing family, wife, adopted son. Would you like to share a little bit about those characters with us and how they came about?
um, yeah, it's embarrassing. I never know how something comes about in the book, right?
Okay.
It just
Yeah.
happens. I just write as I go along. I don't plan the book in advance. So I'm not never sure where this stuff comes from. And I'm talking about now plot ideas also. It's just
Yeah.
there's no light bulb moment. Um, Laurie goes back to the first book. And Ricky, the son, he was just in the plot and they were taking care of him. And then it just felt to me like they should adopt him. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, there's certainly no real life inspiration for any of that.
Okay. It's great. And he has such a great defense team, investigators and everything. Um, how much, I mean, it sounds like you probably had to do quite a bit of research. Your court scenes are very
I do I, I do zero research.
zero research. Okay.
I find Googling to be exhausting, right? So I don't do any research at all. Any
Okay.
research. It's unfortunate. If I did, books would probably be better, but I don't do any research
I
at
don't
all.
think so. No, I mean, I think what was fun in this book is just not knowing the outcome of the case. Do you know the outcome when you start writing?
No, no.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know anything when I start writing. Um,
Okay.
um, I don't know. I don't know till page probably sometimes 100 what the crime is. There's
Oh,
always a murder.
wow.
There's always a
Yeah.
murder. But then Andy uncovers a scheme behind it, which is another crime that's being covered up, and that can come at any time. I don't know I never know what that is.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I admire writers who can do that. I
I
would
wish
lose
I
track.
wish it wasn't that. I wish I could not do it that way
Yeah.
because you know not knowing what's going to come next is the only thing that stops me from working. I mean,
Okay.
it's so
Oh, I love
anyway.
it.
I
How much
couldn't
of
teach a 3-minute course in writing. I literally couldn't. Um, I never learned the craft or any of that, because I wasn't a writer for most of my life. So I just sit down and do it, and it goes where it goes.
I love it. Well, it goes well because it kept the pages turning for me. I was wondering how this case was going to turn out and which way it was going to go and if he got painted into a corner, how he was going to get out of it. So it was really fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, what's a great way for readers to connect with you, follow you? I know you're on Facebook. Any other social media?
No social media, but I get many emails from people through my website. And in fact, the first, I don't know, maybe the first 5 books, now we're going back 20 years, right? I
Yeah.
put my email address in the books inviting feedback, and it was an AOL email address, right? So,
Right.
so I have to keep it because I still get emails from people who read the earlier books, right? So it's like people think I'm a dinosaur because I have an AOL address. I can't get rid of it.
I love it. I love it. I love that readers can get in touch with you so easily and ask you
Oh, I,
questions
I, I
and
try and return all of them. But when a book comes out, I'll probably get in a week, I don't know, 900 emails,
oh
something
my
like that.
gosh. Wow.
So it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Um, but it's great because people only write to you for the most part, if they like the book, right?
Yeah.
So, I wake up in the morning and there's 100 emails from people telling me how great I am. It's terrific. I can't wait to
That's
get up in the morning.
I was gonna say that sounds
Right.
wonderful. I love it. That's
Right.
fantastic. You have some other book series that include dogs and canines. Would you like to share a little bit about those with us?
Um, yeah, there's one other series which I've stopped writing for now. It's 4 books, and it was
Okay.
called they were K Team, and Andy's investigators in his books call themselves a K Team, and because there's a police dog as part of it, and
Okay.
it's a spin-off of the Andy books. It's an Andy book with him being a minor character. The rest of the ensemble is there. Then I've written other standalone books, and I have 2 nonfiction books. One is called
Yeah.
Dog Tripping, which is about a trip from California to Maine with 25 dogs
My
on on,
gosh.
on 3 RVs. Uh,
Holy cow.
yeah, that was insane.
Was that just you and your wife, or how many? Well,
My
you had
wife and
three, so you
I,
had to have another driver.
we had 9 other humans, mostly people we didn't know. A few we knew, and most of the people we didn't know, and they came from all over the country and went with us on this trip. And for me, being cranky, it was the most horrible experience of my life, right? And everybody else on the trip literally thinks it was the greatest adventure of their life. I mean, when an anniversary comes around, they all email, remember that time in Iowa City? I mean, they're like, loved it. I hate it.
I love that. Is there any particular story from that trip you'd like to
Well, I mean,
share?
there's plenty of stories in the book, but what we
Yeah.
did was we got 250 feet of plastic fencing.
Oh my gosh.
So every time we stopped, the dogs wanted to get off, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever driven in an RV. I never will again. I have like RV PTSD from this trip. But they run out of gas every 20 minutes, right? I mean, you fill it with gas, you drive 4 blocks, and you have a quarter of a tank left. So you keep stopping, and the dogs always want to get off. And these were old arthritic dogs, so to get them on and off wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we had the plastic fencing. We set up our own dog parks surrounding these RVs, so the dogs wouldn't run away. And wherever we stopped, if there were people around, they'd want, what's going on. They'd come over to pet the dogs. It was awful, just awful.
It was awful.
Horrible.
Okay. Well, it sounds like, I mean, and that's not a short trip, California to Maine.
No, we
I
made
would
it in
think at
5 days.
least.
We made
Okay,
it
I
in
was
five
good.
days.
I
Yeah.
was wondering. I was thinking 6, but five's doing pretty good. So
Yeah, I mean, it went relatively smoothly. There
it's
was
great.
one time when one of our younger dogs, really fast dog, got away from one of the volunteers off a leash, and we were on this huge field, and it just took off into the darkness, and we didn't know what to do because, well, what are we going to do now? We can't leave.
Right.
So, and we had no idea how to find her. And we were standing there, and it was maybe 5 minutes later, and she came flying back
Oh
and
no.
ran up the steps into the RV like she realized this is not good, right? So,
Right.
yeah, that was the only near fiasco we had.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah,
good with
yeah,
25 dogs.
yeah, it really was.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So I my apologies. I know you have your website and it's davidrosenfelt.com. Is that right?
Yes, clever
Okay.
name, isn't it?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
very clever.
yeah. No, you came up with it.
Very original.
Oh yeah, I'm really creative that way. Yeah.
I love it. I know you started out in California in the movie industry. Is there ever any chance we're going to see Andy on the big screen, Andy and all the dogs?
You can buy the rights right now if you have a check with you. If you
Okay.
um, my agent just told me yesterday that there's a different book, one of the standalones that may get picked up.
Oh,
Um,
great.
Andy, I came close once. I wrote a pilot and it didn't get on. Um, the biggest appointment of my writing life in terms of movies, is dog tripping. That book,
Okay.
that a cross country trip. Steve Carell signed on to star and produce, and
Oh, cool.
it still didn't get made. So
Okay.
that was a major disappointment. But
Oh,
anyway,
that is.
we live in hope.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I hope they make it because it would be fun to see. So
Be okay with me.
yeah, I'm sure it would. And you don't want me to buy the rights because I
Go
would
ahead.
not be very helpful
As long
for
as
you.
the check clears, as long as the check clears, you got it.
Well, that might be the first problem right there. Well, depending on how much we negotiate it for,
Uh-huh.
but yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing about your books, your dogs, your adventures. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And everyone, and to all good bites. So if you're looking for a good holiday read, check this one out. And you have other options too from David Rosenfelt. So until next time, keep your tails wagging and pages turning.
Thanks for joining me today. Sit, Stay, Read is a part of the Authors on the Air Global Network. If you enjoyed today's author interview, be sure to leave a review and share the episode with a fellow animal-loving reader. If you're curious about the world of working dogs and wilderness adventures, please check out my books at KathleenDonnelly.com. Until next time, curl up with your best furry friend and sit, stay, read.